back to Thinking Out Loud. I'm Joel.
I'm Brad. Hello from Detroit.
That's good. That was good.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
All right, so here's what we have today. We are going to do an evaluate the campaign episode, and we're a little bit late. This is something that aired I don't know, a few months ago, several months ago. So yeah, I mean we're not super current, but we like it anyway, and we can't resist the temptation to talk about it. So
let's do it.
You want to say what it is?
I was just going to say it's a seminal example, which is why we cannot get away from it.
Yeah, we love it. We love it. It's great. Okay,
sure.
So it is. Yeah, it's a Samsung commercial that that Casey Neistat hosted and introduced several of the creators, and they're all clips of creators doing great things with the Samsung Galaxy 8, 7, 8. 8.
They didn't really even feature it. That's to me the beauty. Like
Okay,
it was
well,
a
it's one of
slight, a slight showing of a phone and a slight showing of a camera, but it really wasn't about any particular phone. It just happened to be in there for a handful of seconds.
Okay, fair enough. So anyways, if you haven't seen it, stop, pause, right click, open up the link down below, watch it, and then come back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. All right. So
before we dive into the video, can we just set the stage for Samsung as a
should.
whole? Because Samsung has frankly gotten their
they're hurting.
butt kicked
They're hurting.
a lot. I mean, when you have a phone that is banned from actually going on an airplane, you've got a little bit of a crisis on your hands.
How many people fly every day?
Great question.
I mean, it's several hundred
Let
thousand.
me Google it. Oh, I bet it's even higher than that. That's a great question.
Let's just say 500,000-600,000 people.
500,000.
500,000 people on a flight every day, hearing if you have a Samsung phone.
Could you imagine being told you have to take your phone off?
Every single day, 365 days a year. Like, I mean, for the last however long, I mean, at least like 9 months, right?
Yeah. Here's the decision. Either fly to where you need to go for business or for pleasure, or leave your phone behind. Like, that's a terrible decision.
Right. So not only was the initial press, but like the entire flying population of the United States, which I guess is at least a quarter of the U.S., has been like hammered every time they've flown.
Right.
Take the phone out of your pocket and hand it to your.
And for cell phone battles, Apple, iPhone, Samsung Galaxy. Like that's what's
was
happening.
The key competitor.
Absolutely. So Samsung, you're down here. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? And frankly, this is a hell of an effort to try to address that. But I think it's really, really important to know that their brand took a beating, particularly with the younger generation, over the course of the last 6 to 9 months. So coming into this, they know they have to do something unique and different, and frankly, their backs are against the wall, and they brought in probably some hired guns to try to help think through their brand, and this is the video that they came up with, which is what you explained.
Right, and as far as I'm concerned, like this is a straight up home run, maybe even a 2 or 3 RBI homer. Like it really is. Like it's. I mean, one, no better person than Casey to have introduced it. Like, he was pitch perfect in my opinion.
Yeah, well, why is that? What's great about Casey Neistat?
Oh, because he's just totally associated, one, with like the voice of a younger generation. He's associated with a kind of he marries a whole lot of really interesting things. He marries creativity. He marries innovation. He is. I associate with Casey that my vision of the world can be painted digitally, and that's going to be through my social media channel. It's going to be through my YouTube channel. It is that my perception of the world can be perfectly explained through the available digital media that exists right now.
Yeah.
And so to take somebody like him, who's done an amazing job, like, I mean, he kind of came, a little bit out of nowhere. He was a filmmaker. He'd done some like remotely interesting things. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh no, he is the go-to person to talk about any number of topics. And he's just got this really fascinating life, living in New York, really, interested in urban mobility and things that people care about, and that are like, he's right on the forefront of a fundamental lifestyle and cultural shift when it comes to how, like, our fundamental experience of the world.
And I think this is a huge point, because Casey Neistat is basically someone that every millennial looks up to, because he's rejected the institution of working at a huge company. He's rejected the notion that he even that he can't create something on his own. He's rejected the notion that he has to take the train to work even in a city. Like he's figured out his own niche, and it's really fascinating about how many people look up to Casey because he is tech savvy, like you said. He does live in an urban area. He has his own company. He basically was the one that made vlogging mainstream, in my opinion, and he's got a cult following. And so he is the next generation. He is hip, he is chic, and he is a perfect person to go to when your brand is really, really hurting and you are a tech company.
Yeah.
So
And
start.
this beautiful combination of technology, maker, doer, like filmmaker, artist, like all of them, the whole package. That's
10 out of 10 choice for
Yeah.
Samsung to partner with an influencer in this situation.
Yeah, so the result was this is the most viewed video that Samsung's ever done, even though they've had videos with Rihanna, with The Strokes.
Hannah Burris, lots of people.
Yeah, and yet it's what they did with Casey Neistat that's far surpassed all of that.
Right.
All right, so why Casey? Casey makes sense. Other than that, why else do we think this worked?
Yeah, I think one of the things that he did really, really well was he talked about the creator generation, and he again kind of embraced some irreverent approach, saying like, look, we don't have tons of dollars, we don't have these corporate money. He didn't say the word corporate. It's like, but what we do have is our phones and a spirit. And then as part of this message, he had a handful of other influencers. So Simone Giertz is one that was up there. So it appealed to saying like, look, this isn't about Casey, this is about a generation. So it was something that everyone could connect to at that emotional level. And I think by bringing in those other influencers, Samsung really transferred from saying like, hey, we're going to put all of our eggs in the Casey bucket, Casey basket, which is a fantastic basket, but it's even broader than that and makes everyone be able to relate to the message. Because who doesn't want to say like, tell me I can't do something, watch me. Like everyone can connect with that sort of message. So I thought that one was one thing that was beautiful. It was really talked about underdogs and who can't get behind an underdog. And I think in some ways, Samsung was subliminally saying like, look, we are the underdog now. Like we've taken this beating, but we can come back and we can do it. And if Casey can create this cult following out of nowhere, like we can do it too. And who's with me? It almost felt like a Jerry Maguire moment, right? When Tom Cruise was like, who's with me?
Yeah, so, but this time the expectation is someone's actually going to follow.
Yeah. The one last point I want to make here that I thought was fantastic was this was a clear decision was made to pursue a branding video with Casey.
Yeah.
So there's no functions and features associated with this. It's, hey, I've got my phone and a will and a spirit to do things right. And when you can tap into emotions in an authentic way, that's extremely powerful. And I think it's frankly very rare for a brand to post a video on their channel and have over 5 million views a month into it. I mean, that's phenomenal and unheard of. And we could have a debate as to whether it should have been on their brand channel or on Casey's channel. But the fact that it was on their brand channel and did so well really speaks to the fact that they were able to knock it out of the park with that branding and emotional connection. So, I mean, those are a few things that I thought was really fantastic. Anything else on the good side, or should we try to dive into how it could have been even better?
No, I love that. I mean, no. Go ahead. What's next?
Okay, in terms of how it could be better, like I think this is really a seminal video that could help capture the spirit, and so I would love to see Samsung do more of this and try to capture the hearts of people doing across different fields. So Casey is tech and mainstream and urban mobility. Let's do it around the deep sciences. Let's do it around the athletics. Let's do it around some of our military veterans who've persevered in the face of extreme adversity and found ways to do it. And so try to just continue to build on this. That's one thing I would have.
Yeah, there's an opportunity here for a very, very strong brand association with the we can do it.
Right. And so I'd love that. And then the last thing is they did include some other influencers in the Casey video, but I think given the fact that this was such an important time in Samsung's history, I would have liked to have seen even more influencers as part of it in some of the B-roll that they've done. But that's starting to split hairs a little bit. Overall, I mean, I thought this was phenomenal video.
It is, but to your point, if Samsung wants to be associated with the creator generation, which frankly, Apple's had dominance in that for our lifetimes, right?
No doubt about it.
Because if you're doing anything artistic, through our entire, school experience, career, whatever, that was always on a Mac. And so now there's an opportunity. Now that the technology is changing, it's obviously less PC or less laptop and desktop centric. Right. Now it's phone centric. There's an opportunity for Samsung to come in in a really robust way and capture that brand association. So that could be stronger, and that's only going to happen with an amplification of this. Don't have a good at bat and then leave the game.
Right.
Like.
Very well said.
Keep going after it.
Very well said. But that was a heck of an at-bat for Samsung.
Yeah.
And that certainly moved the needle when you're looking at 5 million views and growing and a high engagement. Kudos to Samsung.
Yeah, well done, Samsung. Yeah.
Evaluate the campaign, golf clap. That was a golf clap / slow clap. I said golf clap, and we started with a slow clap.
Sorry.
Anyways, we appreciate you joining us, listening in once again. Until next time, goodbye from Detroit.
Goodbye. Thank you.